This is still too early to be starting this, but I'm glad we're starting it now because it's going to give me some time to fix some of the plumbing leaks.
Yeah, it'll clean it up and get it ready anyway. I think some of those tomato plants that are still kind of hanging on, that look pretty good. I think I might actually try to transplant a couple of the tops, like the cuttings, into some buckets and just put them in our seed room. Buckets like a actual potting plant pot, and see if I can't get them to grow for fall. Because some of the tops still look pretty good, but they're not going to produce nothing because it's so dang hot.
So, I mean, it's a never-ending battle because you've got to let some sunlight or photosynthesis to take place, but at the same time, it really doesn't matter because 110 degrees is 110 degrees. So we got a pretty decent bucket of dead vines from squash plants, cucumbers, everything that we nurtured and cared for, I don't know, the past 120 days or so. But this 107 degree stuff, 105 degree stuff, just it doesn't survive. But at the same time, we got a volunteer plant that takes off and thrives like wildfire. I may throw a 5-gallon bucket of water on this thing every, I don't know, 2-3 days. Look at it growing out of the granite rock. And I don't even know what kind of melon that is. So what are you doing there?
So I told you I found a couple pots in the shed. We had a bag of garden soil that I'm going to cut off. Some of these tomato plants are looking really bad and the heat's just really getting to them. But I'm going to take a couple of these tops, I'm going to stick them in the soil, I'm going to put them in the seed room and see if we can't get some tomatoes this fall off of it.
Okay.
I've never done it before. The tomatoes aren't producing. I'm going to try it.
Oddly enough, look at how good the Brussels sprouts are doing. And that's typically a cold weather crop. Look at them.
I don't know what's going
on.
I can't bear to cut them up yet.
Yeah, no, they're ready for harvest, so.
So there's one.
Look at all the ones down there in the bottom.
I'm getting there.
Look at all those.
Let's see which one looks good.
Now, the next thing I need to do is get a easier way to refill our plant waters off the rainwater outside.
Between this and the water that we take inside.
Yeah. I can wait till it cools down a little bit though, huh?
Yes, we're not need to do anything more than we already have to do outside.
So we're finally going to do an opener?
We're finally doing an opener.
Howdy folks, welcome back to Black Sheep Meadow. I'm Brent.
And I'm Amber.
We got a good one for you today.
It's still hot outside, guys.
Yeah. So we are starting to work on our fall garden. I think Amber probably got some footage of us out and cleaning up some of the summertime, the death of the plants, you know.
Yeah.
It's been 105, 107 degrees for... It seems like 3 months now, but
they hung on as long as they could, and we are very proud of the plants that we had. They produced
very well
into the heat, very well, surprisingly well. So that's
I know we're really close to like the 2,000 pounds of actual produce out of the garden mark this year.
Yeah, so. Which is nice.
But anyways, we're working on the fall.
Yeah, it's the beginning of August, so for our growing zone.
Yeah, we're growing zone 8B.
8B.
So we have estimated approximately 110 days to our projected first frost.
But it's Texas, so you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
It could frost tomorrow.
We had early frost last year. I want to say November 18th-ish or so, somewhere in there, we had our first frost.
It was quite early.
And took out a lot of our plants. So we're focusing on our cold weather plants, stuff that's frost tolerant. Obviously the tomatoes are not.
Right.
But let's talk about that for a second. This is just a trimming. We actually got maybe some footage outside.
Yeah, so some of the tomato plants are, the tomatoes are taking a huge beating out there. And some of them are still alive. And they're still trying to produce, but it's so hot that they're not. The tomatoes that are out there, the green ones are cooking if they ever make it to that stage. So some of the plants that looked good, you know, I went and said, well, I got to grab a couple pots out of the garden, and I just took, you know, trimmed the top off, and I'm stuck it in the soil, and I'm going to see what happens this fall.
All those little fuzzies that you see on a tomato plant are actually roots.
Yep, they'll turn into roots. So I'm going to see. We'll see if I can get them started up here in the seed house where it's more climate controlled. And then
we still stand a chance with a lot of our tomato plants to still pick up if we trim them. And I guess as soon as the weather starts to act right, we're going to trim them up just a little bit and maybe even still get a few tomatoes off of them this fall. So
yeah, this is just an experiment. I've never done this before, but I thought it's not going to hurt anything.
even last year, we had the same. Actually, I think last year was probably a little more brutal than it was this year, or it's been so far this year. But the tomato plants last year, we had them all the way through November.
We were still actively harvesting tomatoes in November last year.
Yeah.
Even the frost didn't get some of them.
Right
they
away.
were able, you know, to hold through it. So what we've got started, tell us what we've got started over here.
So I've got a flat Dutch cabbage on this side. I've got some broccoli started on this side. And then what do you have over here?
I've got lettuces. So I've got 4 different types of lettuces. I've got the Bibb lettuce, a gourmet blend of lettuce, and then a leaf lettuce, and then I started some spinach. And these are all very much, they will do really well in my cold frame box. But I wanted to start them now. I miss having fresh lettuce out of our own garden. So I'm hoping that by starting them here, that they'll be producing, and then when it's time to transplant them, I can also sow some more seeds, and then it'll be that staggered, where you're supposed to do your lettuces staggered so that you can harvest, and then in a week you'll be able to harvest again off the next set, and you kind of stagger plant them. So this is my attempt of starting them early, seed starting, and hoping that as soon as they're ready, I'll have some fresh greens.
Awesome.
And then I did some herbs, and I've talked about it before. My time, I haven't been able to figure it out, and I think I've all of my herbs outside have died in the heat. They've pretty much just cooked. There wasn't a place I could put them that would have kept them away from the heat. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grow some herbs in some pots that I can keep here in the seed room 24/7.
It's climate controlled in here, and then we have we've got it kind of blocked up right now for the camera view, but we have ample natural light that can come in.
And we have the grow lights if we need to.
Correct.
So I'm thinking that maybe, because I really, really, really would like to have fresh herbs, basil and thyme and rosemary all year long. And with our climate, it just seems like I'm fighting an uphill battle. So this is my next attempt. I'm trying to start some thyme, and I'm going to grow them here. I put them in a pot, and they're just going to live here. And then this...
I was going to ask, tell them about this.
So this was an impulse buy. I don't know if you've seen these. This was my first time seeing it. It's Garden in a Pouch is what it was called. And it is a culinary herb garden. And they had several varieties. This was a basil. They had mint, and they had cilantro. And it looked like there might have been some others that were... they were just out. They were sold out. But basically, you buy this little kit, and it has pucks of cocoa core, and it has the seeds, and it has a little stir stick, and you add 2 cups of water, and you let it all soak up. You sprinkle your seeds, you mix it a little bit, you pack it down, and then it gives you a little bag for a they call it the...
like a makeshift greenhouse.
Makeshift greenhouse. And you grow your basil in a bag. So I'm going to try it and see how it comes out.
Yep.
I'm excited. We'll see.
Well, we're still, I guess, as we get into September, I'm going to fight the weather. We're going to see, obviously, right now, it is still way too hot to be outside planting. Matter of fact, germination won't even take place with a lot of the soil temperatures we have. We have soil temperatures out there right now that are like 95 degrees. germination's not going to take place. So once we get into September, usually around the first, second week of September, we start getting some teaser weather, and that teaser weather is what I'm looking for, because if I can get a seed in the ground and all of a sudden we get some 65 degree nights, at least 1 or 2 nights there, fingers crossed, soil temperatures will cool off and we'll be able to get some germination take place. Once germination takes place, usually the plant can suffer through the last few little hot weeks that we got, but into October we're in primo time to start producing.
And that's about the time that onions and garlic are also going to go in. So
Correct.
That's coming up, and I'm really excited about that part of it. But yeah, this is how we're combating the heat, and we're still getting stuff done.
And
it's just hot.
Yes, we're still getting stuff done, but obviously we're working a lot more inside. Working a lot more at night, and when we're working at night we can't get the video to work, so here we are.
It would be really bad video.
And if you went outside right now, you would not believe that there's any end to this heat in sight, because it is brutal.
But it's coming. The
Yes,
end
it is
coming.
coming. The fall it's on the way. So
Hoodie weather is around the corner, and I'm here for it.
and while I don't think, well, I guess there's some folks maybe up in the cooler climates, if you were to get around zone 5, 6 maybe, y'all are probably, I mean, let us know down in the comments. Y'all are probably, I guess, y'all maybe never even lost your spring crops like we did down here in Central
I was
Texas.
gonna say they're probably still harvesting and
so
rocking and rolling.
leave us a comment down below. Let us know how y'all are doing.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yep. In the meantime, continue on, become self-sufficient, ungovernable, get off the system.
We'll see you next week.
See y'all next week.